Good morning. I'm having a lot of questions about Freckle and about how to get to the stepping stones that I'm talking about and the from your teacher folder. I just want to remind everyone that Freckle is not our main teaching source. It is just the one way that I can regulate the kids are going along online and actually doing what our next curriculum would have been, which is geometry. So obviously, it's never going to be the same as it would be in school. I wish we could be in school and be learning to that level, but it will never be that level, unfortunately. So we are going to do a lot of videos. I'm going to do some teaching videos next week. And then we're going to do some practice on here, which is like a type of independent practice and assessment. And then they also have the activities that they pick every day, which are activities which are also independent practice, but they can also be guided practice that you could do along with them. But the Freckle is really for them to do on their own. They do it on their own all the time in class and never have issues. So we are on an example right here. This is the stepping stone. So when you come to the first screen, you see this. The first thing I want to make sure is that when we are logging on to Freckle, we are logging on and we're making sure we are on my code. It is FACKEW. If you don't see the number 1 here from my teacher, you are not on my page. You're on Mrs. Crocker's page. So just go back and make sure you're on the right code. So from my teacher, you would click in there and you will see geometry at my level. If it is not in there, do not worry. It is the same thing as the adaptive math. I just made it this way because it was one less click. So if you do not have it there, just go in here. Don't worry about it. You can shoot me an email, but don't worry about it. They can still do it. They can still learn the same things that the rest of the class is learning. So if you are from my teacher doing geometry at your level, you will see this student right here. Annie put these 3 squares together. What new shape did she make? So you will now see it's a rectangle. This question right here is on level. This student is on a first grade teaching level. So if this said Annie is doing something with perpendicular lines or something that you know is not a first grade geometry standard, that is happening for 3 reasons. One, maybe your child is very good at geometry and they're getting into higher levels. If that is it, let them keep going. Most of them, that's not the reason. The second reason, they could be guessing it and getting it right, which can happen. And that's just, a mistake that happens in the algorithm. Another thing that they could be doing is just asking questions, getting help. When you're doing Freckle, have them sit in another room. Just have them sit down and do it completely independently. When we do it in class, it's silent. No one talks. They don't ask questions. The only thing they have to ask is once in a while they can't read like the person's name in the question or maybe one of the words because it doesn't read it aloud for them. So now that we talked a little bit about that, if you do not see first grade level questions, now I'm going to teach you how to get out of that. So you are going to go to the math section right here, and you're going to go to geometry. Some of you have them all listed. Some of you just have geometry. I had some kids I saw were going in all different subjects, so I took all the options off. For those who were following the directions perfectly, I didn't even go and take the time to do that. So here, continue. And right away, it takes me to stepping stones. This student right here is on a perfect one. Shape attributions, work with shapes. It's going to be all about shapes. Shape attributions, shapes, partition shape basics, identify and draw shapes. These are all great stages for them to be at. If you go down a little bit, some people are at symmetry, coordinate planes, classifying figures. This right here is way too high of a level. So in order to get them back, it's very easy. Scroll up and click step 1 and press to begin. And then there you go. So thank you, and I hope this helps.